Greetings, friends. Welcome back. I'm excited to talk about a very plaguing problem that many of us have experienced at one point in our life, and a lot of people have been bringing to me recently, as well as I've been transforming my own relation to this topic very much recently, and that is the topic of anxiety and depression. I remember even as a teenager, growing up and coming into my own in the world, I had lots of anxiety and depression. I was on all kinds of depression meds, anxiety meds, all kinds of different things, and it's taken me through all my self-inquiry and my spiritual work to finally really understand the function and the purpose of anxiety and depression, how it really works. So often we just feel sad and we don't know why, and we feel disinterested, and we feel anxious, like we're in a hurry all the time, or that we're gonna fail if we don't do something right, and we put all this pressure on ourselves to be what we're supposed to be and be who we're supposed to be, and create all the things in our lives to be safe, to be in a relationship with someone who loves us, to have a job with a consistent paycheck, all these different things that signify our status and our ability to be safe. And yet, once we have all of those things, we're still anxious. We're still in anxiety because we're afraid that maybe we could lose them, or if we do something wrong or make a mistake, that we're going to lose that safety. And then there's the depression. The depression is there. It makes us tired. It makes us have to put forth a lot of energy to do the things that we really want to do. And we have to really ask ourselves, what is this depression? What is this anxiety? Where is it really coming from? Instead of just doing something to cover it up, to do something to feel better. We're always looking to do something to feel better, whether it's a drink or a pill or a conversation or whatever it is. We're seeking to feel better. We're constantly wanting to avoid what it is that we don't like, what we're uncomfortable with. And so what I have found through the use of self-inquiry is my new favorite phrase. It's our willingness to be present with what's occurring for us. It's our willingness to go in and actually really feel what's happening, what's present. Right now, maybe it's like, I feel really depressed. What does that feel like? I feel sad. I feel lonely. Perhaps I feel wrong. I feel scared. And so in our willingness to simply feel that, it changes, it opens, it moves. Depression happens as a clear indication that obviously we are out of alignment with the truth of who we really are. We're out of alignment with our truth. We believe that we're not allowed to be who we really are, that we're not good enough to live our lives with passion and purpose, that we need to do whatever we can do simply to survive, to get by, to fit in, and to belong. And so the depression comes right along, comes right up to say, hey, you're really betraying yourself a little bit every day. You're betraying yourself by holding on to this fear that you can't be who you are, that you're not good enough or worthy to be who you are. And then the way that we respond to that depression immediately is to create anxiety. We don't like the depression. We don't like the way it feels. And so we create a demand to change that feeling, a demand to feel better and get out of it. And that demand is the anxiety. It's the need to be safe. So we're in our depression, we don't feel safe, and then we immediately have a demand to get safe. And that's where the anxiety is created. And so the answer that I found, one answer to really understand how anxiety and depression is a beautiful gift. And if you're feeling it, it's your soul knocking on your door, asking you to come home, to come into the truth. And that door, that key into the truth, is your depression. It is your pain. It is your fear. It is your loneliness. So the anxiety completely melts when the demand for change melts, in the acceptance of what is in the moment. Perhaps that what is your depression. Sometimes it feels like it's insurmountable. It's overwhelming to go into it. It's so much. It's this huge mountain to climb. And in my experience, and in my experience with my clients, I've seen that simply surrendering into the willingness to feel it, that projection that we put on it, that it's this huge overwhelming mountain, it dissolves, it pales, as the presence of your soul comes into your direct experience. in your willingness to be not enough, in your willingness to admit that you spend a lot of time trying to prove, trying to be right, coping with your guilt. You know, we feel guilty for being not enough, for being wrong or bad and somehow, and then we need to make others wrong so that we can be right. This guilt that we pass around. And simply in the willingness to open to it, to be fully in your depression, you go through that cosmic doorway and into the truth of who you really are, which is everything and nothing. It's all. In that place, what is there to have quantity? What is there to have quality? How is that it even possible for there to be enough of anything? Everything is. In that willingness to be empty, you become full, inspired, and that depression melts into bliss. Absolute bliss, for no reason, not because you deserve it or you've accomplished it, because it's who you are, that bliss. And then you become so full of it, so full of that bliss, so full of that inspiration that your energy cannot tolerate but moving in that, harmonizing with that, stepping forward, being ferocious in your life. And I call it ferocious love. Loving yourself and loving life enough to open to it, no matter what it seems to look like in the moment, whether it's anger or fear or frustration or sadness. Ferocious love, ferocious willingness to be with it. And in the nature of the universe, everything is in flux, everything changes, moves, shifts, and your depression is not the end of the world. It's a wake-up call. It's inviting you into the first step of realizing that you already are, you already have everything that you need. Everything to live fully and passionately the purpose that you have on this planet. So I invite you today, if you are someone like the millions of people out there that suffer from depression every day, suffer from anxiety, trying to change your reality, like trapping through the mud, trying to simply to survive, I invite you just to stop, to let go, to admit what you don't know, to be in that, to open to it, and let your soul show you the way, because it already knows, and it's inviting you to play right now. So play and enjoy what it is to be human, fully human, a complete mess and a perfect embodiment of love. Thank you, and see you soon.